Welcome to the Feast, where the focus is supporting students, families, and teachers with critical thinking strategies, tools, and resources. My name is Nasira Waters, and I've worked in the education system for over 2 decades as an English teacher, literacy coach, and mentor. Today, we're going to continue this mini-series on character analysis. Now, today's assignment is going to support the process of thinking more deeply and more critically about the central characters of your literature. Now, for some teachers, they introduce the literature To Kill a Mockingbird in high school. And then there are other teachers that also introduce The Giver or Animal Farm. I've introduced The Giver in middle school, in 7th and 8th grade. And again, as I said in one of the previous videos, depending on what the teacher wants to focus on for the novel, that can determine what grade level they introduce the text. Now, for the body biography, we're going to the assignment will focus on looking at the complexity of the central character in your particular work. And so in order to do that, there are various components that we need to consider to think more critically about the character. And so in a body biography looking at expressing who this character is. So an autobiography is the individual writing about him or herself, whereas a biography is looked at through the lens of someone else, meaning you, the student, being that someone else. And so you're creating a body biography looking at different elements of the character and to express an analysis and your conceptual understanding of the depth of this particular character. So let's look at the assignment. First, we're going to look at the criteria of the assignment, and we're looking at literature, so citing textual evidence that most strongly supports an analysis of what the text says explicitly, as well as making inferences drawn from the text. And so here are the criteria that exceed standards, that meet standards, approaching standards, and standards not being met. Now, this is a rubric that I modified. And so looking at the criteria for exceeding and meeting standards, you'll get a greater sense of what the expectations are. And then on your own, you can read through the approaching standards and standards not met. So exceeding standards means that your assignment, your body biography, contains all 5 body biography requirements, which are a review of the significant happenings of the work, visual symbols, an original text, in that you're providing a poem, which could consist of 1 stanza minimum, or a summary, a paragraph. Then you will have 5 of the most important quotes from the work. Then we will have, you will provide an accurate and thorough depiction of the character based on evidence from the text. Then you will creatively represent your character's traits and actions throughout your body biography. You will exemplify ideas or issues that go beyond the text throughout your body biography. And some of those may consist of gender issues, marital and love issues, gang and daily loyalty issues, issues of violence, race, poverty, religion, and it will stimulate discussion during your presentation. Then we have, you will thoroughly explain and answer questions about your body biography during the presentation. For meeting the standard, you also meet the first standard, which is in exceeding, so I don't need to read that. Here you will provide an accurate depiction of the character versus a thorough. Then we go on that you'll have some creativity representing the character traits and actions versus having creativity throughout the body biography. Then the next criteria is you exemplify some ideas or issues that go beyond the text. Then we have, lastly, you explain and answer questions about the body biography during your presentation. So you'll notice some of the differences in exceeding standards versus meeting standards, primarily that it's much more thoroughly throughout the body biography versus here you're meeting the standards, but maybe not as thoroughly as someone who exceeds standards. Now you can go on and read the criteria for approaching standards and standards not being met. Now moving forward, you're looking at a body biography in a way that it's a visual of an illustrative portrait of several aspects of your character's life within the literary work. Now, you will begin this process by asking a classmate to allow you to trace their body so that you can actually start to lay this out. And listed, you'll see some possibilities for your body biography. You'll see that listed below, but feel free to come up with your own creations. But of course, your choices should be based on the text. As your teacher in your classroom may require you to verbally explain, thus defending your body biography. Above all, most important is that your choices should be creative, analytical, and accurate. So in order to really guide you, note that there are some objectives that you need to keep in the front of your mind. A review that you are reviewing the literary work that involves your character, that you're communicating the full essence of your character by emphasizing their traits and other elements that make your character unique, and that it should promote a discussion about your character. Then we go on to look at some other requirements that should be contained in your body biography. So a review of the work, events. So don't take all the references from one part of your work. You should have visual symbols, an original text, which would be your poem or paragraph, and the 5 most important quotes that you're going to provide, either exposition or dialogue. And of course, be sure that you attribute correctly and you're annotating, right? So that you're quoting the characters and events accurately, and that your annotations, which we looked at annotations in previous assignments. So your body biography, here are some suggestions about your placement. I'm not going to read that. You can read this on your own. So thinking about the spine, these are some things that you will consider as you start to brainstorm and develop your body biography. I want to look at the spine just for a quick second. When you're thinking about the spine, actors often discuss a character's spine. When they do that, this is an objective within the work. So, what is the most important goal for your character? What drives his or her thoughts and actions? And we addressed that in the previous assignment as well. So, you can go back to the previous assignment if you have or haven't done it. The answers to these questions really focus on helping you to illustrate your responses. Look at the virtues and vices of the character. When you think about colors, think about colors that are symbolic of specific meaning. What colors do you associate with your character? How can you effectively weave these colors into your presentation? Then we have symbols. There are specific symbols that have specific meaning or that you associate meaning to. So consider that. Consider how you're going to present your understanding, your summary, if it's going to be a poem or a paragraph. And consider both how the character appears to others on the surface and what you know about the character's inner self, which deals with mirror, mirror. Do these images clash or correspond? What does this tell you about the character, and how can you illustrate this mirror image? And lastly, how has the character changed within the work? Trace these changes within your text and or artwork. Now, we're going to look at the different parts of the illustration. So you're going to create your body paragraph, your body biography using images and writings, of course, symbols to express your analysis and conceptual understanding. So you're going to read through these elements of your body biography: the heart, the eyes, the backbone, the hands, the feet, the background, the quotations, the virtues and vices. Some of this I just went over, and the original text. So as you go through this process, I want you to think very critically and deeply about the character and the inferences that you can make that will help you to analyze this character and convey who this character is and the aspects of this character that are not directly stated in the text, hence making inferences. So if this is useful and helpful to you, if you know a middle school or high school student that this can benefit, please share it with them. I invite you to like, subscribe, and share. Remember that I am looking for support with 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Also, again, I will be taking a break so that I can work on uploading my critical thinking program for middle and high school students. And so I will see you back here sometime mid or so of January. I look forward to continuing to upload assignments that focus on critical thinking. And again, like, subscribe, and share. And I invite you to support the process of 500 subscribers. Have a wonderful end of the year and a happy new year.